What's going on, guys? No, just checking in with another video regarding testosterone replacement therapy. If you'd like to know why I'm on TRT, please feel free to read the description below. Hello, hey there, how are you? Welcome to the video, glad you are here. So as a man on TRT who's been on for a while, I've picked up a few things and certainly learned from my own perspectives and insights based on my experience. And a question that has come up more than I would have guessed is whether or not being on testosterone makes you feel emotional. Now I'm going to address this question from like an intuitive sense or in an intuitive way. And I'm also going to address it in more of like an emotional way, which is sort of funny to use that word choice now that I think about it. You know, when you start TRT, typically they start you pretty low. Your doctor is going to see how you're going to respond. They're going to be looking for things like side effects, potential side effects, symptom relief, and then they're going to watch your blood levels. So some of the time when I read this question from various guys, and you'd be shocked at how many dudes ask me this, I wonder like, are these guys writing this, are they confusing being emotional with just having feelings? You know, maybe just starting to feel more or being more in touch with their emotions? Because I can tell you that if you walk around with low testosterone long enough, you do start to feel pretty numb, you know, blunted, let's just say, to emotional connections and sensations and feelings. It's like being apathetic to an extent. And so when you do start your treatment, naturally, I just think some stuff gets drummed up. You start thinking about things more, feeling a little bit better, and perhaps being able to process. You might feel more emotional, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. And maybe that's the thing that confuses me about some of these messages, is that it almost seems like it's inherently this like, oh God, I'm feeling more emotional. How bad is that? Is it normal? Maybe you're just feeling more in general. You're feeling more feelings, and therefore you're responding emotionally, which might not necessarily be a bad thing, depending on what your low T life looked like. Mine looked really depressed, really apathetic, not doing well at all. And so when I started to address my low testosterone, which was like the equivalent to that of a 90-year-old man's, yeah, I started feeling more things. And I suppose looking back, I might have been able to call it being more emotional. I believe that it was just simply me feeling more feelings. Now, to attack this from a different angle, you know, there is a possibility when starting testosterone that your estrogen can then go up. Some people aromatize testosterone more than other guys, and that means that when you put in excess testosterone exogenous, such as testosterone cypionate, which is an injectable form of testosterone, the hormone, you know, it can go up, and whatever your body can't use in terms of your testosterone rising, your body will aromatize it and convert it to estrogen. Estrogen being more commonly understood as the female hormone, although all men have, and more importantly need, estrogen in their body. It serves a very important function. However, if your estrogen dips too high, and everyone's sensitive to a different degree, of course, individuality is key here to understand, but if your estrogen gets too high, then there's a possibility that it can, present itself in a number of side effects, and maybe, not to put it formally, you could feel more emotional, although I think that's more of like a stereotype. But you could, I suppose, be feeling things that don't seem right, I guess, if your testosterone levels are just spiking too high and therefore your estrogen levels are too high. Now, I don't know enough about that specifically to say there's a direct correlation, but it certainly seems plausible now, doesn't it? So, be on top of your blood work, be chatting with your physician about how you're doing. Be looking for the big three: your side effect profile, your symptom relief, and your blood work. Those are the three things you need to monitor. Now, if you're confusing being emotional with being depressed, then those are two very different things, and make sure you can differentiate those two things very clearly. Look up what it means to be emotional, I guess. Let's see what you find. And then look up what it means to be depressed. And make sure you're not like feeling more depressed on testosterone or more anxious. Otherwise, embrace those feelings. Keep your blood work in check. Try to be patient and understand that it's your body's adjusting. What's going on is new, especially if you've been low for a long time. So try to just be sensitive to the fact that you're going to maybe be sensitive for a little while. And I tend to feel like your body wants to find homeostasis. It wants to find equilibrium as fast as possible. So it will. And I can correlate that to my own life by saying like month one, I felt all right. was feeling some things, but I don't know. It was kind of tricky to understand what was what. Now, from month 1 to month 2, I felt a bit better. Month 2 to month 3, I felt a bit better, and it really did compound in that fashion. So maybe it will for you too. This is, of course, just my opinion, my perspective. Leave your comments below. A lot of the guys that are on TRT on this channel, they're incredibly insightful, and I hope that if you are one of those gentlemen who has something to share on this topic, you'll do your damn part and you'll put it in the comments below so that I and other people can read and benefit from what you've been through and or what you know. Thank you so much for watching this video, boys. I appreciate it. I always really like feedback for topic and video ideas for TRT when I make videos on TRT, because as I've said in the past, I've been making videos on YouTube for 3.5 years, and I don't want to say I'm running out of ideas, but they certainly don't pop up as quickly as they used to. And with that being said, Big No No signing out. We'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.